Hello everyone, welcome to AS Online and this is Narendra. Today we will discuss one of the important topic, that is time and distance. Some of the questions are moderate level, some of the questions which are very frequently comes. Let's begin here. The very first question on the board is this. So what is this question? First we go through the question and then I will give you some 30 seconds to you to answer the question. Look at this one. Two trains measuring 100 meters and 80 meters respectively, okay, run on parallel lines of a rail. When they are traveling in opposite direction, they pass each other in 9 seconds. So it is said that when they are running opposite direction, the time taken to cross each other is 9 seconds. Okay. But when they are running in the same direction at the rate as before, the faster train passes the other one in 18 seconds. If they are moving on the same direction, it takes 18 seconds to cross each other. Okay. So here I am just writing what is there in the question. Now find the speed of the two trains per kilometer per hour. So I need to find out the speed of the train. Hope you understand this question. So I don't know what the speed of the train is, but what I know is the length, right? So when two trains are moving either in the same direction or in opposite direction, what is my distance? My distance is 100 plus 80, 180. And what is the time here when opposite direction? 9 seconds. So can I get that the relative speed when the two trains are moving in opposite direction? Yes, my dear friend, we can get it. That is in the form of A plus B, where A is assumed as the speed of the first one and B is assumed as the speed of the second one. When they are moving in opposite direction, we know the distance same 180 and the time taken to cross each other is 18 seconds. So what is the relative speed? The relative speed is the distance by time, and in this time as they are moving in the same direction, so the relative speed will be in the form of A minus B. So when you are getting A plus B, where A is the speed of one train and B is the speed of another train, and you are also getting the speed A minus B, by solving the equation you get the speed of A, value of A and also the value of B. So here your 30 seconds starts. Now answer the question and then I will see how many of you can correctly answer it. Correctly answer it. Come on, try it, my friends. Try this one. Okay, very good evening, Anusha. Very good evening. Try this question. Now you have one more second and then I will solve this question. Okay, time up. Now I will be solving this question. A plus B, relative speed when they are moving in the opposite direction. What is the relative speed? Distance by time. What is the distance? 180. So let's take that 180 meter is the distance. And how much is the time? 9 seconds is the time. So I am getting this one and the speed is asked in kilometer per hour. So I will convert over here in kilometer per hour, that is 18 by 5. So I will get the relative speed in terms of kilometer per hour. So what is this value is? So I notice that this is 10 times, 20 times with 4 times and 18 4 is 72. So this is 72 kilometer per hour is A plus B. How about anyone answer the question? How about A minus B? The distance will remain same, that is 180. Sum of the length of both the trains. And what is the time this time? When they are moving in the same direction, one train overtake the another train in 18 seconds. So the time is 18, and here also as it is asked about the relative the speed in terms of kilometer per hour, then this is how much is the time, 18 seconds, and I will convert this speed in kilometer per hour by multiplying this by 18 by 5. I will be getting A minus B. So how much is that? 18 gets cancelled, and I notice that 36 times this gets cancelled. So that this speed is 36 kilometer per hour. So now I have the A plus B and A minus B. When I add up these two equations, then the B will get cancelled. I will get the 2A, and the 2A is equal to 108. Then A is equal to half of 108, that is 54. A is equal to 50. Oh, it's not writing. Acha, 54. 54. Am I right, my friend? So once I got the A as 54 and I know the A plus B is 72, then obviously the B can be worked out. But what is the question asked? Question asked, find the speed of the two trains. Okay, I need to find out the second one also. So that is A plus B, which is 72, and minus 54, I will be getting the B, and the B is nothing but 18. 18. It's not writing, it's okay. So my answer should be 54 and 18. Look at your option choice. Anyone answer the question? Anyone answer the question? I am looking at the board for your comment. So what is my answer? 54 and 18. I notice that my answer is B. Let's check the answer. Option choice is B. Right, my friends? So moving on to the next question. Just get ready, and then after reading the question, as I said that I will give 30 seconds for you to answer the question, and this is your next question. And what is this question is? Two stations, that is P and Q, are 110 kilometer apart. Okay, this is P and this is Q, and the distance between them is 110 kilometer. This is what it is said. The next one train starts from P at 7 a.m., travels towards Q with a speed of 20 kilometer per hour. Start from P at what time? 7 a.m. with a speed of 20 kilometer per hour. I am just writing the question here in order to bring the clarity of the question. Now, whereas the another train Q starts at 8 a.m. and travel with, towards P with a speed of 25 kilometer per hour. So here it starts at 8 a.m. and with a speed of 25 kilometer. Am I right? Is it 25 kilometer I read? Yes, 25 kilometer per hour speed. Now both are moving in the each other's direction. Okay. At what time will the two train meet? Very frequently asked question. What you do here? The first thing you will say that this is 7 a.m. and this is 8 a.m. So till 8 a.m. the first train will travel for 1 hour, and per hour his speed is 20 kilometer. So how much distance it will already cover? It will cover 20 kilometer distance. What is the total distance? 110 kilometer. That will be covered with a relative speed. So at what time they will meet? Here your 30 seconds and here. Come on. Anyone will answer the question? Try this. Anyhow, I am going to explain it afterward. Come on, my dear friends. I will just wait for 30 seconds so that you can just try to answer the question. Even if you don't get, don't worry, I am going to explain you with the best possible method. Come on. Your time is up. And if your answer is second one, that is 10, at 10 o'clock they are meeting, then it's right. Now I will explain you how it is at 10. So out of 110, 20 kilometer is covered by 8 a.m. by the train which starts from P. So that is the remaining distance which has to be covered by relative speed is 110 minus 20, that comes 90. And this 90 will be covered with the relative speed, and when both are in an opposite direction, then there is 20 plus 25, that comes speed 45, and the distance to be covered is 90. How much time it will take? Clearly visible here, that is it takes 2 hours from when? From 8 a.m. So at what time they will meet? 8 a.m. plus 2 hours, that comes 10 a.m. That's how your answer is 10 a.m. Option choice 2. Anyone answered it? Okay. Moving on to the next question now. And is here. So what is this question? Allow me to read it first, and then I will give some time for you to answer it. A train leaves Delhi for Amritsar at 2:45 and goes at a rate of 50 km per hour. It's fine. Now another train leaves Amritsar to Delhi. This is Delhi to Amritsar. This is Amritsar to Delhi at 1:35 p.m. That means this train is started 1:35 p.m. The other one is started at 2:45. That means after how many minutes? I notice that this is here is 25, and 25 plus another 45. The time is 25 and 45. That's 70 minutes. Right, my friends? Okay, it goes at the rate of 60 km per hour. If the distance between Delhi and Amritsar is 510 km, then at what distance from Delhi? What distance from Delhi? Which one is starting from Delhi? The first one is started from Delhi. At what distance from Delhi will the two trains meet each other? Is it not different than the previous question? In the previous question, at what time these two trains will meet? Now in this case, how far from Delhi these two trains meets? So what I do here, I will take this, this train which is started from Amritsar has already covered a certain distance before the relative speed starts. How much distance it covers? So here I will be taking this one, as I said that here it is 25 and 25 and 65, that is 70 minutes. So it runs 70 minutes and with a speed of what? 60 km per hour. So how many meters it covers or kilometer it covers? So 60 km per hour is the speed, and from here to here 70 minutes to time. As it is minute, I will convert that into hour. So that will give us the distance it is covered from Amritsar. So 60 gets cancelled. I left with 70 kilometer. What is the total distance? The total distance is already given over here, 510. So what is the remaining distance? The remaining distance is 510 minus 70, and I will be getting 440. Am I right? 440. This 440 has to be covered with the relative speed. And what is that relative speed? The relative speed is 50 km plus 60 km, that comes 110 km per hour. So when I divide this one 110 km per hour, that means it takes 4 hours for them to meet. But the question is not that what time they will meet. The question is how far from Delhi they will meet. Your time starts now. Let's take your time. 30 seconds. Hope someone can answer the question. I am looking at your comment. Hope someone can answer the question. Now, I did it. Almost 80% of the work I did it. Come on, answer it. After 4 hours, they are meeting. How far from Delhi they will meet? That distance you need to find it out. Anyone? Okay, time up. If you have done it, let's check if the 4 is your answer. 200 kilometers away from Delhi they are meeting, then it's right. How is it? Let me see here. So, it started at 2:45. Okay. From 2:45, it takes 4 hours traveling from Delhi. So, how much it will cover in 4 hours? Its speed is 50 kilometer per hour. So, 50 into 4, that comes 200 kilometer. That means from Delhi, 200 kilometer away, the two train will meet. Therefore, your answer choice should be 4. That's what is displayed here. Okay, that's good, well done. The next question on the board is this. Look at this one. What is this question? A man sitting in a train which is traveling at 50 kilometer per hour, observe that a goods train traveling in opposite direction take 9 seconds to pass the man. This is a situation like this. A train, its speed is 50 kilometer per hour, right? So, the man is sitting in the train. A goods train comes and completely passed on to him. To not the whole train, but the man. So, it is crossing a point of a first train. The goods train is crossing the point of the first train. And how much time it takes to cross its own length? 9 seconds. Is it right? I am just writing the facts which is given in the question. Now, if the goods train is 250 meter long, what is the length of this goods train? 250 meter. That's what is said. Then, find the speed of the goods train. Can you find out the speed of the goods train? Yes, my friend. I will wait for 30 seconds and then I will explain you how to answer the question. Come on. Will I get the relative speed? I am giving some clue to you. Will I get the relative? R for relative, S for speed. Relative speed. What is that relative speed is? All you can see is my answer should be in kilometer per hour. This 250 is 250? No, it is 280. It is a 280. So, let me write down here, that's 280 meter. And the man who is sitting in the train, that train is moving with a speed of 50 kilometer per hour. And the goods train was coming from opposite direction. So, here the relative speed will be in the form of A plus B. And once I get the A plus B, from there if I subtract A, I will be getting B. Come on, answer the question. Okay, your time is up and I am showing you the option. The option choice 3, that is 62 should be the answer. If your answer is 62, you are right. Now, I will say that it's an easy question and it's also a frequently asked question in the examination. So, let me take you to the solution part. Here 280 meter is crossing in 9 seconds, right? And both the trains are moving. So what will be this speed? If the first train speed is A kilometer per hour and the second one is the B kilometer per hour, so I will get A plus B as they are moving in opposite direction. So what is A plus B? That is relative speed. The distance 280 is covered in how many seconds? 9 seconds. Look at this one, this is meter and this is second. So whatever the speed I will get will be in the meter per second. But here we have the kilometer per hour and you are also asked the answer in kilometer per hour. So convert that into kilometer per hour. For that I will be writing into 18 by 9. Now you notice that this gets cancelled over here, 18 by 5. You will be writing this one as a 18 by 5, converting from meter per second to kilometer per hour. So you notice that that gets cancelled 2 times and here it is getting cancelled. Finally, you will get that's 24 and that's 5. 5 is 25 and 5 6 is 30 and 56 into 18 not 18, 56 into 2, as this gets cancelled 2 times, I will be getting here 112 kilometer per hour is A plus B, the sum of the 2 trains, and in which I already know the speed of one train. So obviously I can find out the speed of goods train. And what is that? That is 112 minus 50, and that gives us as 62 kilometer per hour is your answer. Option choice is 3. Oh, that's good, that's good. Well done, well done. Okay, okay, fine. I will be moving on to the next question. And here is your next question. I am reading it, so you also focus on the fact which is needed to answer the question. Here, 2 trains at the rate of 45 and 36 kilometer per hour on parallel rail opposite direction. They are in the opposite direction. Observed to pass each other in 8 seconds. So when they are moving in opposite direction, it takes 8 seconds to cross each other. The next one, when they are running in the same direction, as before, a person sitting in the faster train, observed that he passes the another train in 30 seconds. Let's assume that this train is the faster one, and a person who is sitting in this faster train, notice that this faster train overtaking the slower train in how many seconds? That is in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Okay. Now, what is the question? Find the length of the faster train. What will be the length of the faster train? How do I find it out? Now, can I find out the total distance? Length of train 1, length of train 1 plus length of train 2. Please tell me, can we find it out? How do I find it out, the total length? I know the relative speed when they are moving in opposite direction. The relative speed is the sum of this, that is 70, 81. That's right. The speed is 81. 81 kilometer per hour. And how much time it takes to cross each other? 8 seconds. So what is the distance? Distance is equal to speed into time. Let's find out the distance here. So I will be finding out the length of train 1 plus length of train 2 is, that is 45 plus 36, which is 81, and into Should I multiply this by 5 by 18 or 18 by 5? Because this is in kilometer per hour, whereas this time is given in second. Obviously, I need to convert the speed from kilometer per hour to meter per second. For that, I will multiply this by 5 by 18. So, into 5 by 18. Now, the speed is become meter per second. And how many seconds it took to cross each other? 8 seconds. This will give us the length of train 1 plus train 2. Yes? How much is that? So, cancel this one. I notice that this is 9 times, this is 9, and with 2 this is 4 times, 4 5 20 and 180. So, the total length is 180 meter. Fine? Okay. Now, I do not know the length of the first one, I also do not know the length of the second one. So, how do I find out the length of the faster train? How do I find out the length of the faster train or slower train? Which one is asked? Length of the faster train. Okay. What I know is when they are moving in the same direction, then it takes 30 seconds to cross each other, whether they are moving in the same direction or opposite direction. Tell me, length will be same or not? Yes, length will be same. They are moving in same or opposite direction, the total distance will remain same. So, what is the total distance? The total distance is 108 meters. Can I find out the length, speed of the slower train? Not the speed, length of the slower train. How do I find out? So, here it is said that when they are running in the same direction, faster train, the man in the faster train, observe that they pass he passed the slower train in 30 seconds. So, I can find out the slower train length. What will be the length over here? So, the slower train length is here 30 seconds. What is my relative speed when both are moving in the same direction? A minus B. That means here 45 minus 36, which is 9. This is the relative speed. So, I will take the relative speed, that is 9. Okay? And it is in kilometer per hour. I will convert this into meter per second by 5 by 18. There is the speed. And it's crossed this man in 30 seconds. So, I can get the slower train length into 30 will give us the slower train length. So, let us multiply this one by 30. So, I will be getting the slower train length. And I have the total length over here. I will get the slower train length because of the given fact here in the second line. So, once I get the slower train length, I will be getting the faster train length. Okay? Come on, my dear friends. So, here how much use? 2 times 15 times 15, 5 is 75. This is 75 meter. But the length you have to find out is about faster train. So, that length will be 180 minus 75. I know that is 105, no need of writing, just for your reference I am writing it. That is 180. Okay. So, here 180 minus 75, and that comes 105 meter is the length of the faster train. Do we have any option here? 105, option choice 4. Okay, that's good, that's good. Someone is well responding. Your option choice is C. Hope you are understanding this. Okay. Now, I will be moving on to the next question. Are you ready here? Let's move on here. There is a question we are going to discuss now. And what is it? A train, after traveling 15 kilometers, met with an accident and then proceeded with 3/4 of the usual speed. A beautiful question, very frequently asked at either clerical mean or even the NTPC CBT 2. So, in many examination. So, let say that he is moving with a speed of 3/4 of the usual speed and arrived the destination 35 minutes late. Why? Because he reduced the speed to 3/4 of the actual speed. After it met an accident after traveling for 50 kilometer. Okay. Next, had the accident occurred 24 kilometer further, if this accident would have been happened 24 kilometer further, then what it is said, he would have been only late by 25 minutes. In the previous case, if this the point, if the accident occurs over here, then he started traveling with a speed of 3/4 and reached the destination after how many minutes late? 35 minutes late. Fine. If this accident would have been happened after how many kilometer? 24 kilometer further. Here 24 kilometer further, if this accident would have been happened, then still he will be moving this part with 3/4 of his usual speed. As a result, he would have been late by 24 minutes. Am I right? Not 24 minutes, 25 minutes. Okay. So, here the train would have been late by 25 minutes late. Fine. It is a beautiful question, my dear friend, and frequently asked question in the exam. So, what is the question? The usual speed of the train is. Usual speed of the train is. Now, the main point over here, I will clear the question first and then I will give you some time. This 24 kilometer, if he moves with 3/4 of the speed, and this 24 kilometer, if he moves with usual speed, then the time saving was 10 minutes. Am I right here? Okay. So, 10 minutes saving if it is travelled by usual speed instead of the same distance travelled within 3/4 of the usual speed. Now, you have to find out the usual speed of the train. So, this should be the your focus point 25 and this should be your speed ratio, that is 3/4 of the speed. If the usual speed is 4, then the reduced speed is 3. So, I am knowing the speed ratio and you know the speed and time are inversely varies. If I reverse the speed ratio, I will get the time ratio. So, what is the time ratio over here, my dear friends? The time ratio will be 3:4. That means previously to travel 24 kilometer, it was taking 3 parts. Then now it is taking 4 parts. So, how many extra part here? 1 part extra. And how much time extra over here? Look at this one. This is 25 and this is 35. That means 10 minutes. So, 1 part of the time is 10 minutes. Then actually he takes 3 parts usually to travel 24 kilometer, then 3 part will be 30 minutes. Am I clear up to this? How this 30 minutes for what distance? To travel 24 kilometer. It takes a 30 minutes usually. So, what will be the usual speed? Speed is equal to distance by time. Distance by time. Here we have kilometer per hour, whereas the time is given in minutes. Now, what will be the usual speed? I am writing over here. The usual speed will be 24 by 30 minutes, as it is kilometer. 30 minutes if I write in hours, it is 1 by 2. So, 24 into 1 by 2, and that gives us 48. So, what is the usual speed? The usual speed is 48 kilometer per hour. Am I right? Someone has answered the question. 48 kilometer per hour is the usual speed. Right, my friends? It's a beautiful question, and the similar type of question sometimes presented in a different way. Here it is said after 24 kilometer, if the accident would have been occurred and then it is travelling with 3/4 of the speed, then he would have been saved 10 minutes. It's in this format. So, if your writing is over, then I will move on to the next question. The last part is slightly changed. Instead of 24 kilometer after travelling 24 kilometer, it can be given after travelling x hours, after travelling y hours. For example, after travelling 3 hours, accident occurred. How do we answer the question? The next question is on this. Look at this, this question here. Let's move on. 48 is your answer. Here, come on. We will read the question, then I will give 30 seconds to you. Right, my friends? Look at this one. A train met with an accident 4 hours after starting which detained for 2 hours. Now, let's assume that the point A is the starting point, and after travelling for 4 hours, let's assume that he travels for 4 hours and there is an accident here. Let's assume that point B here, where the accident takes place, and after which it proceeded with 60% of the original speed. From here to the end point, let's consider that the point C is the end point. So, B to C, it travels with a speed of 60% of the original speed. I do not know at this moment what the original speed is. Okay. So, if arriving at the destination 5 hours late, so it arrives the destination 5 hours late, and it is said that this is 2 hours. What is this 2 hours, my dear friend? So, at the point of accident, it stayed for 2 hours. So, here is the additional 2 hours is got consumed. As a result, the train is 5 hours late. So, this is the stoppage. The train got stopped for 2 hours. So, what is the actual late? If I do not consider this stoppage, what will be the actual number of hours late? That is 5 minus 2, 3 hours late. So, I will ignore this and I will change this value. The train will be 3 hours late. That 5 minus 2, 3 hours late. This part is clear. I am just explaining what question is, then we will think how to solve it. Now, the next part, it says that had the accident takes place 180 kilometer further, instead of point B, it would have been taken, let's consider this is point D. accident would have been occurred at point D instead of B. And the B to D, what is the distance? 180 kilometer. If the accident would have been taken place at point D, here somewhere point D, then here also 2 hours, 2 hours stoppage time. Now, the train would have arriving only 4 hours late. Previously it was 5 hours late, now it is only 4 hours late. So, the train will arrive at point C 4 hours late. If I ignore this stoppage, if I remove this stoppage part, then because of reducing the speed, the train would have been late by how many hours? As in the previous case 5 minus 2, the same way here it is 4 minus 2. The train would have been late by 2 hours. Late by 2 hours. That means the 1 hour is saved. Why 1 hour is saved? Because earlier this distance, point D, they travel with 60% of the speed. But in the second case, it travelled with the original speed because the accident took place at point D in that case. So, it would have been only 2 hours late. That means 1 hour is saved. The difference between the 100% of the speed for this 180 kilometer and 60% of the speed for the same 180 kilometer, the time saving is 1 hour. This is the core part of the solution here. Now, what is the question? Find the length of the trip and the original speed. What is the total length? That is AC. How much is AC? And what is the usual speed? Will you try this question, my dear friend? I will just give you 30 seconds to respond. I have done almost opened up the whole question. You will probably able to answer the question. 100% speed and 60% speed. What is the speed ratio? The speed ratio 5:3. Then the time ratio is 3:5. How many parts extra time? 2 parts extra time. And how many hours extra? Here 1 hour extra. I gave the enough clue to you. Okay, your time is up. If someone got 1 as your answer, that is length is 120 kilometer and the usual speed is 120 kilometer per hour, you are right, my dear friend. Let's see how can we answer the question. When 2 part is 1 hour, then 3 part will be how many hours? So obviously 1 part is half an hour, 3 part will be 1.5 hour, which can be written as 3/2 hours. Right? So the time is 3/2 hours and the distance is 180. Can I get the usual speed? Yes, we can get the usual speed. What is that? 180 distance divided by 3/2. I will get the usual speed. So let me write down what will be the usual speed. Usual speed will be 180 divided by 3/2, and that gives you 120. What is this 120? The speed. Usual speed 120 kilometer per hour. So I can check the option 120 kilometer per hour. I have 2 options and none of this is there. So based on only usual speed, we cannot answer the question. So we should find out the length of the train. So in the previous question, if I move on, then it is only asked about the usual speed. Here they are not only asking about the usual speed, but they are also asking the length from A to C. So think about it, how do we find out the length? I know that this distance A to B, how do I know? This is 120 kilometer per hour is the speed, and in 4 hours 12 into 4, that is 48, 480 kilometer is the distance from A to B. What I need to find out is what is B to C, right? So how do I find out B to C? Here 1 hour difference is there with the usual speed and the 60% speed. What is the 60% of 120 kilometer per hour? So 12 6 is 72 kilometer per hour. So if I consider this entire part BC as D, so the distance by speed, what is that speed? I will take the reduced speed in one case and I will take the usual speed in the another case. Then the time difference will be 1 hour. Is it? Fine. No, the time difference will be how much difference? 3 hours. Time difference will be 3 hours in case of usual speed and in case of reduced speed. The time difference will be 3 hours. So I am writing it now. Look at this part, that is D by 60% of the speed, that is 72. So I will take over here D by 72 minus D by actual speed 120, which is equal to 3 hours difference. Now here can you solve this? That is only simplification. The main part of the time and distance is over here. Here I simply have to find out D and there is an equation ready. Come on my dear friends. I notice that your LCM is how much? 72 and 120. 360 is the LCM, 5D and 3D, 2D by 360. D is equal to 180 into 3, 18, 3, 54. So I am getting D is equal to 540. What is this D? This D is the distance from B to C. Is this the total distance? No. I need to find out from A to C. So here it is 480 and this is 540. Am I clear, my friends? So total distance is 480 plus 540. I notice that this is 1020. That's my answer. So the total distance is I am simply writing over here 1020. What is this 1020? How did I get the 1020? So the distance from A to B plus B to C. A to B is 480 and B to C is 520. The sum comes 120. Therefore, the answer is 120 kilometer is the distance and the usual speed is 120 kilometer per hour. Okay, 1020. Can you notice that 1020? And the usual speed is 120. Can you see that 120? That's over. So what should be your answer? The option is 1. So all these things I wrote it in order to make you understand the question. But while you are actually working on the question, don't draw these diagrams. Don't draw these diagrams. Only working part is this part. If you understood it, it's fine. Sir, pen color thoda deep होगा तो अच्छा होगा. Okay, okay. That's good, that's good, Mr. Ghosh. Mr. Ghosh. So is that yellow color is okay? Yellow color is okay? Okay, the next question I will write it in yellow color. This is a very important question and the people consider that is a difficult question. But if you know how to approach this question, it is not very difficult, Mr. Ghosh. The next question on the board is this. Look at this one. So, all the questions which we are discussing is very, very important questions. Now, look at this part. Ram covered a total distance of 125 kilometer by car and motorcycle. This is total distance, 125. Tell me, Mr. Ghosh, is this yellow color is okay? Is it clearly visible? The car speed was 50% more than motorcycle. C for car, M for motorcycle. Car is 50% more. That means if this is 100, this is 150. The ratio will be 3:2. So, speed ratio. S for speed ratio, Mr. Ghosh. Okay. What is next given over here? And the time taken to travel by car and by motorcycle were equal. Time is in 1:1 ratio. Time is equal. Okay. Now, what distance Ram covered by motorcycle in kilometer? In kilometer. What distance it covered? Total distance I know 125. So, as I need to find out the motorcycle distance, the distance covered by motorcycle, I will consider this as a kilometer. Then the distance covered by car will be 125 minus a, and the time is equal. That is a beautiful equation given to us. And what is the time is equal to? Distance by speed, and that is equal. So, here it says that A by what is the speed of motorcycle? 2 part, I will consider this as 2x. A by 2x, that is nothing but distance by speed is equal to time, and the time is same in both the cases. That means is equal to 125 minus a is the distance covered by car, and with what speed? That is 3x, and these two equations are equal. Tell me, my friend, can't you get the x value, a value? That is the distance covered by motorcycle. Come on, try it. Try it. घोष जी जरा बताइए, कलर क्लियर है? Solve the equation and get the answer. Come on, try this. Shall I give the further 30 seconds? You don't need the 30 seconds to solve this equation and find out the value of A. Okay, still I didn't get the response, but it's okay. So, as x gets cancelled, so here it is 3a. Can you see that? This is 3a, which is equal to 125 into 2, that is 250, minus what? Minus 2 into a, that's 2a. When you take the 2a other side, then 3a plus 2a, I will be getting 5a, which is equal to 250. Please tell me what is a? The a is equal to 50. And what is this 50? That is 50 kilometer. And what is a? The distance travelled by motorcycle. That is what the question was. So, the distance travelled by motorcycle is 50. Your option choice is 3. Oh, that's good, that's good. One lady, Anusha, has rightly answered the question. Option choice A. Okay. So, where this question should be properly understood in order to answer the question. Now, here this part. framing this equation. That is the only part. The moment it strikes you that if I can take the A here, this distance travelled by car will be 125 minus A, and the time is equal. That means distance by speed A by 2x will be equal to 125 minus A by 3x. Once this equation is found, the rest part is simple simplification. Right, my friends? I will move on to the next question, and is this one. It is on the board. If a train runs at 40 km per hour, it reaches its destination by 11 minutes late. Next, but if runs at a speed of 50 km per hour, it is late by 5 minutes. Here also it is late, and here also it is late. But when the speed is increased from 40 km per hour to 50 km per hour, when the speed is increased, the late time is reduced. Here in the previous case 11 minutes late, and here it is 5 minutes late. What is the difference of time? 6 minutes. Okay. Now find the correct time for the train to complete its journey. Correct time to complete its journey. Really, it's a beautiful question, my dear friend, and frequently asked question. And your 30 seconds starts now. Come on, try to answer the question. Those who are watching live and those who will watch even after it's got recorded. And after 30 seconds, I will solve this question. I am sure some of you will be able to answer 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 2, 1, 0. Time is up, and this wonderful lady answered the question that says option 2. Let me check. No, madam. Option 1. Don't worry. Don't worry. It sometimes happens here, because slightly I twisted the last part, because many a time it has done in the same way. For the train to complete the journey, find the correct time. Okay. So we know how to find out the distance. There is a small formula, that is S1 into S2 by S1 minus S2. I am applying that formula here. You must be knowing that the distance is equal to S1 into S2 by S1 minus S2 and delta t, the difference of time. We get the distance. So let us apply that laid down formula, and we will find out how much is the distance. So in the first case it is 40 km, and in the second case the speed is 50 km. The difference of S1 and S2 is 10 km, and delta, that is here it represents multiplication. Delta time, why do you write why do we write the delta time? That represents the difference of time. So here it was 11 minutes late, here it is 5 minutes late. That means the difference of the time is 6 minutes. So into 6 by 60, I will convert it into hour, because all are given in kilometer per hour. And this will give us the distance. How much distance will I get over here? I am getting that here, that's 10 and 10, 10, 100, 5, 4, 20. So the distance is 20 kilometer is the distance. Okay, now if this 20 kilometer distance is covered with a speed of 40 kilometer per hour, he is late by 11 minutes. That means the correct time, this is what is asked, correct time to find out. That is 40 distance and speed is 20 kilometer per hour. So whatever the time will come, from there I distance is, no, this is the speed and the distance is 20 kilometer per hour. Okay, let me write down this one. The distance is 20 kilometer per hour, whereas the speed is 40 kilometer per hour. So I am getting less than 1 hour, that is half an hour. Multiply this by 60, you will get the time when the distance is covered with a speed of 40 kilometer per hour. But in this case you are late by 11 minutes. So if I subtract 11 minutes from this time, I will be getting the right time. Let us work out on that. So whatever the time comes from here, if I take out the 11 minutes, that late time, then I will be getting the correct time. That is all. So here 30 minus 11, I will be getting 19. 19 minutes is the correct time to reach it. That is all. Do we have anywhere option? Yes, option A, option 1. Anusha, is that clear? You said option 2. Is it visible now? Okay, let us move on to the next question, and it is here. Wow, good question, this one. So how do we answer this question here? If a train runs at 40 kilometer per hour, it reaches the destination late by 11 minutes. Of course, it's got repeated, this question. So I will moving on to the next slide. The same question got repeated over here. Find the correct time. So the next question is this. Come on. Okay, it's clear, Anusha. Yeah, that's good. Thank you for your response. Ram covers the first part of his journey at a speed of 90 kilometer per hour in 40 minutes. First part. So I can find out the how much is first part, because I have the speed and I have the time. So speed into time is the distance. Okay, next. And the remaining 80 kilometer with a certain speed. I don't know the speed, but the remaining distance I know, which is 80 kilometer. Now what the question is, if his average speed for the entire journey is 84 kilometer per hour, for the entire journey, average speed is given to us, then what was his speed during the remaining part of the journey? What is the remaining part? Remaining 80 kilometer. So the remaining 80 kilometer, with what speed he covers? This is the question. Whereas we have the average speed given to us, that is how much is the average speed? For entire journey, his average speed is 84 kilometer. Come on, find it out. What I know is, here with a 90 kilometer per hour speed, what is my distance 1? I know the distance 1 is 90 kilometer per hour and 40 minutes. Can I convert that 40 minutes in hours? 40 by 60. So into 40 by 60, which is nothing but 2 by 3, and that gives us 60 kilometer is the distance in the first part. And you know the average speed is equal to total distance by total time. It's a laid down basic formula. So let us write down over here, that is what is that average speed, that is total distance 60 kilometer plus another 80 kilometer. I am just for your clarification, I am writing 60 plus 80, or else we know that this is 140. So 60 plus 80, 60 plus 80 divided by, we know the average speed. So the distance by speed, will I get the total time? Yes, we will get the total time, out of which I know the first part is 40 minutes. I will get the second part time. Yes, my friends. So, let's find out the average speed is 84. So, this comes 140 by 84. So, there is 6 times 10 by 6, 5 by 3. So, total time is 5 by 3 hours. How many minutes? So, that is into 60, and I get this one as 100 minutes is the total time to cover the whole distance. Now, you know how much time it took to cover the first part? 40 minutes. Now, here I will give 30 seconds for you. From here onwards, you move on. Come on, and nicely says Anusha, that's 60. Option A. You did it before time. You did it before time. Well done, well done. Let me check. The time up is option 1 is correct. No, my dear friend, it's option 5. Option 5, that is 80. What I need to find out? The remaining distance is covered in what kilometer per hour? I need to find out the speed. In order to get the speed, I know that this is distance by time. How much is the distance? Okay, 80 kilometer is the, no, not 84 kilometer, 80 kilometer is the distance. How much is the time? The total time is 100. From this 100, if I take out 40 minutes for the first part, then I will be getting 60 minutes. In other words, or 1 hour. The remaining distance is covered in 1 hour. What is you mean 80 kilometer per hour? That means he runs in 1 hour, he runs 80 kilometer. So, here how much is the remaining distance? Remaining distance is 80 kilometer. 80 kilometer. And how much time it took to cover 80 kilometer? It took 1 hour. So, distance by time is nothing but your speed. Therefore, the second part speed is 80 kilometer per hour. Option choice 5. Is that clear? Is that clear? Whoever, Anusha, you have answered the question? Fine. Moving on to the next question. Okay, that's good, that's good. And okay, that's all for today's class. Hope whatever we have discussed is were the very, very good questions. All the questions, right from the first question till the last question. Very good question. If needed, you can save this video or can note down these questions and note down the solution also. With this, thank you very much and wish you all the best to all of you.